Hey everybody. So a couple of things. You remember when I told you guys about this homeless lady that we pass every so often, that like she was living at the bus stop, like really living her life at the bus stop. And a couple times a week my husband and I, we would stop and we would give her some money. And remember when I told you that where she was, they had a bus shelter there. And then they removed the bus shelter in hopes that she would go away, but she didn't go away. She stayed there with her things and continued to live just on that bench. And I told my husband, I said, I'm so deeply worried about this woman because over in this area, they're not going to tolerate that for too much longer. Because, you know, this is America. And Americans, we would rather turn away from the problem. We don't want to try to help the problem or deal with the problem or fix the problem or, you know, manage the problem. We would rather shoo the problem off and do sinister things like create park benches where homeless people cannot stretch out and lay, so that, you know, we don't have to look at it and be all uncomfortable with the fact that we're not doing shit about the fact that rent is so expensive that no one can afford it, and so people are forced out into the streets. And then when they get to be too unpleasant to look at, we lock them up and put them in the penitentiary. We give them felonies and we make slaves out of them. We don't want to deal with that here in America. So I noticed that the last couple of days that she wasn't there, and I thought that might be because it was raining outside, but no, it's not. Today it's not raining and she's not out there, and so I'm really concerned about this woman because we don't have enough all of the social safety nets that would be put in place to help people like this are just gone. And we've got all of these rich people who are robbing poor people. I mean, that whole Brett Favre thing, for example. He took money from the poorest people in the state, in the poorest state in America. And until someone really made some noise about it, it would have been allowed to happen. And think about how long it has been happening. How long rich people have been able to steal from poor people in that way. And they've got all the money. They've got everything. He had enough money to donate for his kids' volleyball, whatever, gym or wing at our university. He had enough money, you know? And if he didn't have enough money, this is a guy who could have raised enough money. They have fundraisers, these rich people, for $2,500, $3,000 a plate. He could have raised the money. It would have been a very easy thing for his fame, notoriety, and social status to do. But instead, he decided to take from the poorest, most marginalized people in the poorest state of America. And all these things are interconnected, and they're just... Let me stop. But anyway, I didn't do an unboxing yesterday because, honey, I worked on the pantry and all of that pain had my asthma. Woo! I was gone. So I will do it today. We didn't get any packages today. It could be because we just didn't get any today. Could be because they're running late. That's not uncommon, you know, on my street. So we're going to do one today. How about that? Now this book, I'm very interested in reading this book. And let's see who sent it to the pantry. Is there not a... Oh, there it is. It's just the QV. Oh, wait. Here it is. It was plastered up to the top of it, and I couldn't see it. You are such an inspiration to me and a lot of black women. You are most definitely in your calling. From Tracy Davis. You know what's so weird about that, Tracy Davis? First of all, thank you so much for the book. This is one of the ones that I really wanted to read. And child, I might have to just, you know, thumb through them pages before I put it out in the library. Because that's the whole point, right? Read more and pass it on. But Tracy Davis, so funny about your name. I was born Tracy Davis. That is not my name anymore, you know. But I was born Tracy Davis. That is my actual birth name. So, thank you so much, Tracy Davis. Not spelled the same, but thank you, Tracy. Let's see. The next package. Oh, these are the screws I ordered for the pantry. That's and the next one is a box. You all can see the box. Somebody walking by minding my business. I tell you, oh, these Southerners, they have the hardest time. He's looking like dead in the car, like walked right in front of the car, looking all in, like, what is she doing? How can I not mind business that belongs to me? Michelle Cargo, again. Oh, I keep saying the last name. God, I gotta stop doing that. I am so happy for this because I thought that this would be great for the kids coming home. Just anybody, really. I know I always say the kids, the kids, the kids, the kids. But really anybody, you know, anybody. Thank you guys so much. Michelle and Tracy, I appreciate you contributing to the Curbside Library Pantry, which my husband is going to put out today. I did my last touches on it. I did the best that I could, y'all. I'm going to put it out today. I'm not going to fill it today, but I'm going to get up early in the morning and fill it tomorrow morning. And then I'm going to take my pictures because, you know, I got the pose. Y'all know I got to pose, right? You know I got to pose. Because the whole point of it is that, you know, I just want people to feel good enough and inspired enough where they do it too, you know. So and they can expand on services too, because sometimes, you know, we got to be the answer. We can't wait on America to get their shit together, because clearly while the right and the left are sitting up and arguing with each other and going back and forth with each other, you know, in all of these politics, we're getting caught up in the crossfires. We and American children and poor people and elderly people and sick people, and the more services that we can, you know, because sometimes the services are actually there and people just don't know, you know. So I want to put pamphlets in there, brochures in there, to let people know where they can go and get, you know, free dental care, or, you know, free gynecological exams, or free health care screenings, or free shots, or, you know, just where they can get free services, plumbing services, roofing services, HVAC services, tutoring services. I would really just like to expand on it. You know, I'm a gardener. In the summer months, I can definitely, well, I probably won't be gardening in the summer, but I could definitely see myself, you know, putting collard greens in there and mustard greens in there, just maybe for whoever just wants them. I've seen them donated to pantries before, and mine, trust me, look a whole lot healthier and better. So, yeah, you know, we just got to do better. We got to help each other. And I know that there are a whole lot of people who are in a much better position to help than I am. And I hope that I can inspire those people to want to do more, and, you know, and also be someone's answer. With that said, you know, because I remember when I was a mother, and when I had my 2 kids, and I remember I was on assistance. I started off on assistance, you know, and I remember this one time I was in between paychecks, and I didn't have any food in the house, and I had a car, and believe it or not, I didn't know about food pantries. No one told me anything about food pantries. But what I did do is, because I worked as a waitress while I was putting myself through school and looking for a better job, I would save all my pennies. And I sat up and I watched, I think it was Jerry Springer or something. Oh my God. I watched that, and I rolled roll after roll, penny roll after penny roll of pennies till I had like $70. And you talking about my youngest baby, he couldn't eat solid food then, but my oldest baby could. Me and he and I. And I had $70, and back then $70, that was a lot of money for some groceries. And man, the way I filled my house up off of just pennies. So you'd be surprised at what an answer can be to somebody. I remember a time when $5, man, $5, you can make a great one pot meal with $5, you know. And so I do want to put some things in the pantry that can be kind of, you know, for a meal. You know, it can be a meal because these top ramens are good. You know, I eat these myself. I make gourmet ramen. I don't know if y'all ever saw my videos on TikTok, but I make gourmet ramen. And even just the ramen in and of itself is good when you don't have anything. You know what I'm saying? And then it's always going to be someone in the comments that's going to say, oh, it's so much salt and it's not good for you. Nobody is saying eat ramen every single day, but sometimes if you poor, that's what you got to do. You know, college kids do it because they can't afford tuition and they can barely afford their housing. And sometimes you got to do what you got to do. That's just what it is, you know, at the end of the day. And when you're poor, you know, you can't always, you know, eat healthy meals. There's this guy on TikTok that does this series where he makes whole entire meals out of things that he finds from the Dollar Tree. And it's the way people in those comments will come for that man. They talk about how salty the food is, how unhealthy the food is. And people don't think before they speak, or maybe they do and they just want to be antagonistic. But these are for people who obviously don't have a lot. Excuse me. It's a way to feed your children a meal when you might be running on your last few cents. It could be a way to help people stretch things to the end of the month. It could be somebody's answer. And the fact that we attack poor people and poverty and we treat it like it's some sort of a character flaw instead of the fact that America is flawed because it does not pay its citizens enough. It doesn't create good jobs. It doesn't have enough social safety nets in place, and those that were in place are rapidly disappearing and no one is saying anything. And these corporations, they're getting richer and richer and richer and richer and richer. And instead of attacking them, we attack the people who are suffering as a consequence, you know, of the conditions here in America, instead of the conditions that people are suffering from. We got to do better. Anyway, thank you so much, Michelle and Tracy, again. I appreciate you. And thanks for hanging in there and listening to this rant / unboxing.